No, like I think carrots are mushy carrots. The cooked carrots are phenomenal.
Mm,
Actually, I don't think there's a version of carrot I dislike.
I dislike every version of carrot. I am not a
I,
rabbit.
I feel like every couple months I learn a new fact or food that Cheyenne doesn't like.
No, we got carrots, we got lemons.
You don't
I
like mint, do you?
recently, no,
Yeah.
it makes me sick.
Or lemon. Wait, did you say lemon?
I did.
Okay.
Okay, but I've developed the taste for sour cream, which was a food I originally didn't like, which now I do. I
Interesting.
like it has a special name, but like the Mexican sour cream. It's different than normal sour cream.
Is
I
it?
know, I know what you're talking about.
Yes, it's thinner and it has like it's lighter. I gotta look it up, dude. Like
No,
I
I'm like,
Understanding.
what is Mexican sour
Like
cream?
how all three of us are looking it up.
We're like, what is it? Crema.
Yes, it's so much better.
I agree.
It says it's smoother, but it has a higher fat content.
It's
Yes,
a
but it
mix between, or it's like generally between American sour cream and French creme fraiche, which is
it
interesting.
is actually so yummy.
It is quite delicious. And on that note,
I don't know if I've had it.
hi, I'm your host, Lily,
I'm your host, Macy.
And I'm your host, Cheyenne.
and this is Non-Problematic Problems, episode 2.
Woohoo! We made it.
We made it.
I was gonna ask you actually for stats on episode one because I was looking at it. I was like, okay, 5 people subscribed, 20 people watched. Who are or 16 people watched or something? It's like, who are they?
The
I said
stats, oh God.
Rick. So he better just let it play in the background to get our views.
Just on repeat 24/7.
I'll do
100%.
it.
I don't know if I could hear myself yap that much. I mean, we have 6 subscribers. Don't know who they are, but love and
Are you
appreciate.
allowed to look? Oh, excuse me. Are you allowed to look at that? Like, does it show you?
I don't know how to do that. Oh,
Two
wait,
people liked it.
I can. Oh my gosh. Well, I see 3 of them. It says we have 6, so unless we have 3 randos.
Oh, it's you, me.
The three of us.
No, and Jackie.
Oh,
Okay.
Jackie. I
But
know Austin subscribed, but he did watch it.
that's 3 that it shows. So it's just us.
Cute.
But no, it's great that like knowing that we have people who want to support us and such. So I love that.
Dude, let me share it with my sister.
Right now.
I sent it to my mom, but I doubt she watched it. At least not yet. She's been busy. It's the last week of school.
That's okay. No worries. So with
I'm gonna
that,
go
I think we're
downstairs and I'll
going.
kick.
What?
Can you not hear them?
No,
No.
fortunately.
La 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 la.
All right.
Listen to me to a psych ward. I can't.
Oh no, she's lagging. It's that bad. Oh no.
Oh, you match your comforter.
I know. Where'd Cheyenne go?
I don't know. She's gone.
All right, so we're gonna try and do like little segments that are recurring during like our podcast. So we're gonna call it our thrives and cries. So this is essentially like our highlight of the week and then maybe something that made a girl cry because it's really easy to cry. Um, I don't want to start. One of you will.
Wait, so are we doing for the 2 weeks ago or this week? Like our current week?
Whatever you want to do, girl. I guess you have 2 weeks that you can go through. I'll be eating my dinner while you do that.
Gosh, Bella. Okay, I'll go first. My cry, I've cried like 4 times in the last week over the exact same thing, the NCLEX. So, for anyone that's listening, good luck on your NCLEX, babe. And something that has made me thrive is I got to spend a weekend with Derek's family and graduation, and I just love watching people. I just think humans are so cute because the fact that we all attend graduation to listen to our loved one's name be read for 2 seconds, and we sit out in the sun to get a freaking sunburn for 3.5 hours, like that is just, I think it's just fun. And my dad came up to watch Derek graduate.
Oh,
I spent
That's
the week
so
with
sweet.
my dad afterwards, so that was my thrive. I thought it was just very fun.
I want to comment on the why like humans are so cute. Like why are we all just doing the things that we do?
No,
so fun.
graduation, like we literally, I had like the worst sunburn. Like it burnt around my necklace. Like I have a mark on my
A little
chest,
circle.
like of my cross. Like I'm touched by Jesus himself,
Oh,
apparently.
wow.
Like
Jesus
I burnt,
has blessed you today.
it burnt so bad, and all that just to hear Derek's name be read.
Oh my God, I
Ew.
think you're gonna become the next Virgin Mary, even though you're not a virgin, but
In
Jesus
case
has
anyone
blessed
listening to the podcast didn't know.
Yeah, that's it.
Um,
Okay,
because Lily's still eating her dinner, I will go.
that's fine.
My thrive was Ren Fair on Sunday because I had an absolute blast. It was a great time. Spent a lot of good quality time with Austin, which was very much appreciated. My cry is that I have been having unrelenting tummy issues all week, and I'm not quite sure. Yeah, not quite sure what. Normally, I know what's causing them though. I'm not quite sure what's causing them this time. So I just have been. Well, today I felt sick because I ate two donuts. That one I didn't know, but
I have no idea what could be doing it.
but
Maybe
like
it's like the 30 donuts I ate.
no, I've been eating so good all week and still having tummy issues. And then today I was like, well, yeah, I feel nauseous because I just ate two donuts, so that makes sense.
was driving home yesterday for my dad's, which is like a 5.5 hour-ish drive, but we took the long way because he went to go buy something, so we took the long way together. So in the morning I had a coffee. Or first I had biscuits and gravy for breakfast, which always makes my tummy hurt a little. Then I got a coffee and Pendleton, which was like after I was already in the car for an hour and a half. Then I ate hot fries. Not hot Cheetos, hot fries. And I was like, you know what? I feel pretty good. I get a Rebel from Dutch and the Dows, which is still 2 hours from home. When I hit Portland, I was like, oh God. And like my mom saw the ring pull up. I like sprinted inside talking about how bad I had to poop, and she had to see if I made it in time. Like it was bad. So I'm with you with the tummy issues, y'all. Like that sucks.
No,
Yeah.
I've been experiencing the same thing. There has to be something in the air, except mine with I'm more on the same boat. Fuck, I can't speak recently. I'm on the same train. I changed my transportation as Macy.
Wow.
My mode of transportation changed. Um, of the like, I don't really know why. Um, what is my thrive? I think my thrive is going to be the fact that I am no longer in the 2024-2025 school year with the kiddos. They had their last day yesterday, and so
Yay.
I get a solid week and a half off. I get to sleep in. I'm excited about that.
Love that.
Um, in the reign of like the cries, I on Saturday woke up at 6 in the morning and I had to drive 2.5 hours up north to go visit with my poppy and celebrate Father's Day, which that was great. But then I had to drive like an hour and some change to my mom's to then drive 30 minutes to my friend's house. And then I had to go to the mall, and malls stressed me out, and my tummy wasn't feeling good the entire time I was there. But it was my friend's birthday, so I wanted to like be there for her.
It
And then,
was Reagan's.
yes, Reagan's birthday. And then we had to go get dinner, and then we were going back to my aunt and uncle's. So I spent like most of the day in the car. And it was a great time. The reason why it's a cry though is because I didn't get home until 1 in the morning. Get home. I'm greeted by my dogs, and I see this thing in Sterling's mouth, and I'm like, what is that? It looks like a stuffed animal. It's my stuffed animal, and all of its insides are scattered on the floor. And
Was
I
it
was
your
like,
elephant?
what?
Was it your elephant?
No, I think I might kill my dog if that happens. That, no, I won't. But like, no.
That's crazy.
But it
What
was a
one?
stuffed animal I bought from Barnes and Noble. It was a cute little pink fox, and Barnes and Noble stuffed animals are like 20 bucks. So it was
Everything
a
from Barnes and Noble is at
pretty,
least $20.
yes, it was an expensive
Guy?
stuffy. Yeah, they wanted that one too.
Hey, look, he has 3 arms. Well, this is his.
Or he has a dent in his head.
He had a lobectomy. He's missing his parietal lobe.
It's just
Oh.
gone.
But yeah, so I was so angry after having an 18-hour day just to come home to that, and my tummy wasn't feeling good. So then finally, after I cleaned all that up, I woke Jake and I was like, okay, let's go to sleep. I'm asleep for maybe 25 minutes. So I hit the deep sleep, but then I was like shocked awake, and immediately my body was like, you're nauseous, you're gonna throw up, you need Pepto. So then I like panicked myself and I was like, I need Pepto, I need Pepto. And it was very reminiscent of like old things that I used to do. So I had like a one of those like 3 steps forward, 1 step back type of nights with it. Talked about it in therapy today. And so that was my cry. Even though I didn't cry, but that was my cry, you know.
I'm surprised you didn't cry. I would have been crying.
Mhm. I've
I
cried for less.
no, literally.
Right.
I'm not on my period, so I think I can handle it a little better.
I almost started crying Friday night because I made burritos for Austin and I. And then I only had one for me and I made him two. And I was like, I don't really want another burrito, but I want like a burrito bowl. And so I was like, I'll just do like everything that I put in the burritos in a bowl and then put some salsa on top. When I went to put salsa on top, I grabbed the wrong can. So I put pizza sauce on top of my burrito, which basically the same thing. Tasted totally fine. It honestly just tasted like I was eating like beef marinara because that is exactly what I was eating actually. Just wasn't what I wanted. And I was sitting there and I was like, it's like fine, but I kind of want to cry about it. And I was real close to tears on that one.
You know
No,
what else I
slap in the
cry at
face.
is the rats in my neck. That is also gonna make me crash out.
That's fair. But if you crash out, it'll make the rash worse.
Yep. I got in the car today and I actually like I didn't put any cream on it this morning because it felt fine. Like I was like I didn't itch it at all last night. Like I didn't see it in the mirror this morning. I get in the car to pick Derek up for Costco and he looks at me and he goes, "Why are you so stressed? Your rash is out." I was like,
Your rash is out.
That is
okay.
fucked up to say.
I was like, "What the fuck?" But it was bad. It was like climbing up behind my ear today.
Dang.
But I drove to my testing center today to see what it looked like to help
There
with
you go.
that anxiety to like see. And it's actually really nice. I don't know why I was picturing like a big old gym, like musty seats and chairs,
Oh, that's so
fabric
good.
dripping off.
Is there a way for me to adjust my camera so I look less Casper the Ghost?
I
You're
don't know.
blind.
It's
You're blind.
Because if I'm like back here, I'm like white. I like match my walls.
I'm like I can't even see you. I just see this like dark
If I come forward, it's a little better. I don't want to
U
close my
shape.
window though.
Look how tan I am. You can't really tell on this, but like
Look how pasty you are compared to
Yeah.
me and my
I'm
beautiful
gonna.
tan.
Casper! Oh, shit! Oh, Bella does not like that.
Ooh. Neither does Fran. My God.
Oh, that was Frank. I thought that was Bella. I was like, oh my God.
No, that is Fran. Can you calm down? Thank you. Come here.
No.
Is that better?
I want to hear about everybody's Father's Day weekend. Ever had a good Father's Day weekend this last weekend?
Seeing that I don't have one, it was pretty good.
Well, you went to see your puppy, you said that, and you spent the weekend with your boyfriend Mace. So I was mainly, I mean, it was Father's Day weekend, but I wanted to see how the whole weekend was as a whole.
No, it was really good. I got to spend it with Jake's family. We got to bond a little bit more. I was cracking jokes and all of them were listening and laughing. So I felt really proud of myself for that kind of thing, getting out of my shell, being more open. We played badminton, some cornhole. It was really nice.
Guess what I started playing?
Chess.
No, I started playing pickleball.
Oh, you
Love
told me
pickleball.
that today. Am I dumb?
And
Yes.
it's actually so much harder than you think. Like I cannot serve to save my freaking life.
Serving's the hardest part for sure.
I just can't do it. But the rest of the game was fun.
That's good.
I bought a cute little skirt to wear.
Of course you did.
She's in her pickleball era.
Love that for you. I don't have a hair tie. I don't know why I'm pulling my hair
What
back
else
with
did
my
you do
phone.
other than the Ren Fair this last weekend, Mace?
What?
What else did you do other than the Ren Fair this last weekend? Just kind of hang
Well, it
out?
was Cam's graduation on Saturday.
Oh, from OSU?
Yeah. So I did not make it to the graduation part, but I went to her dinner and little or lunch dinner thing and little after party. And
I don't know
then
why I thought she'd already graduated.
no, she graduated. Well, she only had like a couple. She only took like two classes this last semester. She was basically done.
Well,
Mm.
congrats to Cam. That's
Mhm.
exciting.
Very fun. So then, and then she literally started her new job on Monday. It was like no turnaround time. It was so quick. Um, so yeah, I did that on Saturday, and then I drove up to Oregon City also on Saturday and spent the night at Austin's friend's house. Oh my God, I didn't tell you about her. She has over 1,000 books. She has two
Has her own
walls.
library.
She has a
Yes. And
library.
she rents them out to people. So I haven't borrowed one from her yet. But yeah,
Like,
she
does people
said
pay for them?
what?
Did she rents them out like for money or
No,
lends?
but like loans them.
Oh, lends them out.
Yeah. And so she yeah, I was like stoked when I saw it all. But then to make you guys feel better about the amount of books you have that you haven't read, she has over 1,000 books, and she's like, I finally got my haven't read list to be under 400. So she's yeah, still has over or she has about 400 books that she hasn't read.
I
So
11%
mean,
ratio.
yeah,
I wonder how much money that is sitting there. Like, that's crazy. I know when I did the math for mine, that was like a stupid amount of money. Because you think what? 16 bucks for the average book.
right, a
oh,
thousand
that'd be
books.
about $16,000 worth of books right there.
It's crazy.
Iconic. What a queen. That's who I aspire to be.
I support, honestly. I
Sixteen
told
thousand or 1,600.
16,000. If she has 1,000 books and each book was $16, which is the average,
Yeah. I
mm,
know she does like the book subscription stuff where she gets a book, like a thing of books every month.
book of the month.
I don't know if it's that one, but
I
it's one.
love book of the month. I don't have book of the month, but I love the idea of book of the month.
And I was gonna take a
I say
video of it and like
look
quickly
at the month.
describe
I don't
book of the
have.
month. Let me just say it 5 times. Book of the month, book of the month, book of the month, book of the
it.
month, book of the
So it
month.
loses all meaning.
Oh my God, that's how I feel about the word bowl. Like that's not real.
I've done that with my brother's name before. I was like, I don't, this isn't a real word anymore.
Fucking Trevor.
Yes.
Molly, don't.
I still
What
want
did
to.
you just call me?
I didn't
Oh,
call
anyway.
you anything.
The name of the game is Truth or Dare.
What is his problem? Derek asked, he goes, is it okay if Austin plays pickleball with us? I said, yeah. I go, today, question mark? He goes, yeah. And I say, sure. And he goes, is that okay? I said that twice.
Not anymore. Now I'm mad about it.
Yeah.
All right. Did you want to talk about your Father's Day, Pook?
For my Father's Day, I was Sunday morning, Derek's family, so we were all on the Grand Sunday morning. So the morning of Father's Day, so Stephanie got to see her dad, which I think is very sweet because he has a recent diagnosis that's really hard for people. Um, so he, okay, Derek is trying to change my vocabulary so I can't say the word cute. So I said he is the most precious man I have ever seen. He is so precious. So it's cute that Steph got to spend that day with her dad, and then my dad was there. What?
I have this thing with Derek where I'm not allowed to say cute. So we had the cutest day.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah,
I'm trying so hard.
I'm not supposed to say it. Precious, precious, cute. It's like,
Okay. So we had a cutie little day. That's not cute, it's cutie.
No, I was
Um,
literally gonna
different.
say, so you can say cutie all you want.
yeah.
Babies are
And
saying cute, cute.
we
The cootie man.
a cutie little man. We
Yeah.
ended up going rabbit hunting. So it was Derek, Kylie, Stephanie, me, and my dad. ended up going rabbit hunting, and my dad really wanted to see one, and Derek shot one. It was unfortunately a baby, but it was already dead, so he was like, I'm gonna skin it and take it home, or else it's just a waste. So I watched him okay, I couldn't watch it when he like pulled like the fur and the skin off. I couldn't watch that part because it looks too much like a bunny. But after that, it didn't look like anything, and was like looking at I that's the picture I sent you guys. I sent you that picture of its heart and its lungs, and you can still see its trachea attached.
No.
Did I
Did I
not?
just not even look because I don't remember this?
No, I'm like, yeah, did I even look
Put
at this
a
picture?
warning. Okay, this is
You
Oh,
definitely did.
yes, yes. That's the
okay.
photo that she
Warning
sent.
for reference. This is what it is.
Ugh, nasty. You
But it was
nasty,
so
but I
small.
like your type.
And then we found some bones too, which were cool. I don't know what animal they were, but they were quite large. It was vertebrae, which was cool.
Hmm.
And then my padre and I went home. I made him a nice fish dinner for Father's Day. And then Monday is when that was like the Father's Day like celebration that we were doing. He recently bought a side by side, like a little off-road side by side. If you guys do you guys know what those are? Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's a little two-seater, and we packed a gun and some fishing rods, and we went off right through the country. And my watch, we were only going at like 10 miles an hour because the terrain was so rough and it was shaking so bad. My watch thought I was cycling. So I like quadrupled my exercise ring on my watch because it thought I was working out. And my heart rate was so high because I was like so stressed about running us off the road.
Skirt.
But it was actually very fun. We did not see any fish. We found lost cattle though, because the guy's property who we were on, my dad works for him and he runs his cattle down by the creek. And and he lost some cattle down there and we found them, which was fun. And we saw a coyote and I spotted it, which was very impressive because I usually don't see stuff until it's like right on top of me. And my dad could not shoot it in time, which sucks because out there you can shoot them without a license of any sort. They're invasive and they kill cattle, so they can shoot whatever they want. Um, but we didn't get to, and we didn't see any snakes, which sucked. Like we wanted to see a rattlesnake and fish, and we saw neither. But we saw a coyote. And we saw bones, which were cool because, like, when the cattle die down there, they just die, and then everything picks their bones off. But I gotta show you a picture. It was.
You didn't get a skull?
I didn't take a picture of the skull. Well, here's these. These are the first ones I found.
Okay.
Like that's the skull. There's like a, I don't know, some kind of long bone. But look, its teeth were still intact on its jaw.
Oh, wow.
But
Sick.
these were really cool. The spine, I didn't take a picture, but the spine was still intact, and I tore out a vertebrae because I was like, this is like insane. Like it's huge. Look how big that vertebrae is. You can't.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Did you keep it?
No, I left it.
Lane.
Like you can't
Make a
really
Your
see.
nitpick
your
out of
story
it.
isn't interesting anymore because you didn't keep it.
It's still a cool story, but I next time keep the bones. And if you don't want them, I do.
I was like,
So, did y'all run into any skeeters while you were down by the creek with the coyote?
Hey,
uh,
Belle.
I didn't get bit by any skeeters. I think it was too hot, really. The sun was like beating right down on us. I got another sunburn on top of the burn I already had.
Double burn?
It was a different tan line. So now I got like one, two, and three. So I'm like,
My
it's like an ombre.
my
Cute.
coworker was talking to me today and she was like, "Okay, do you have any recommendations for some self tanner?" And I was like, "Oh my God, yes, I got you. Let me put you on some stuff." And she goes, "Yeah, I," and she shows me like her arms are fully red and she's like ghostly white right here. And she's like, "Yeah, I literally only need it for right here." And I was like, I mean, you can still try the self tanner. It might not get you the same color, but it might match a little bit more, maybe."
Yeah.
Concerning.
I mean, our chests don't tan as well as the rest of our body, but I don't know why. And then same with like this part of your arm, like the
Oh,
inside.
this part never like tans. it like can't, but right here, Jesus, I can become a whole different ethnicity on my arm.
My knees get so dark, and I don't know why. My knees and my stomach.
That's weird.
My stomach
Interesting.
is dark. Also, look at this tan line from my watch.
Oh yeah, mine is also.
Ah! I'm like,
It is so bad. It looks worse in person.
So does mine.
I don't know. Is there one
No,
here?
I'm like, so I'm going to Spokane this weekend, and I was like so excited. So I was like, oh my God, it's gonna be like sunny and warm, like east side of the state, right? Wrong. It's raining the entire weekend. I was like, I was planning to wear a bathing suit and get really tan, but I guess I'm not doing that anymore.
Oh, that's really random.
It's lame. It's
It's off.
literally, quite literally Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the only 3 days I am there.
That definitely is a slap to the face.
I'm upset about it.
It goes, oh, you've had a
We
bad day? Well, let me stub your
rain.
toe, actually.
Right?
We say yes to rain. We need rain.
Well, I agree. I really loved that it
I
rained in
know we need
Washington
rain,
today.
but
Like
My
so.
yard needs to be green, not that nasty ass yellow color.
I just don't want the damn forests to burn.
Well, correct.
only you can prevent forest fires.
Did y'all see that thing after the Trump administration like defunded a bunch of like the Forest Service thing? The US Forest Service posted on their Instagram a picture of Smokey and it says only you can prevent wildfires. And it goes, like, no, seriously, like you're the only one that can do it now. We don't have any employees.
I love Smokey.
Yikes.
Uh, this is a side note, but I got this in the mail yesterday and I was gonna text you guys, but I wanted to save it for the podcast.
Oh, that was
Yay!
really quick.
That was quick.
That was
Well, I
quick.
mean, it didn't have to travel far. I live like 2 blocks.
Well, okay.
Fair.
Put it that way.
What is
But
this?
pretty.
That's awesome. I'm very proud of
Smaller than my Washington State one, and not as
Lily,
pretty.
I still need you to send me that thing on how you did the dried flowers for yours because I want to do that.
I know that's some of my flowers fell out because I need to like figure out how to get them to stay without actually attaching them to my actual thing. See, it just fell.
Yeah, but
It's
it's
so
so
cute.
cute.
So it's cute. I gotta figure out how to do that. But I was like, I absolutely love it. It's just because it's like the flowers create like a little bit more of a layer. So while it would stay flat, it gaps.
Hmm.
So I gotta figure out how to get the flowers to stay. That's on my to do. Because the one that I watched, I think the girl like glued them, but she got the smaller, like Cheyenne, your diploma's smaller, right?
It's nowhere near as big as the other one.
Interesting.
So that one would fit really nicely and you could do the flowers around where fuck, WSU's like, let me give you a whole fucking like flat
It's
screen
massive.
TV.
The WC ones are so pretty though.
Stunning. I'm like,
So
I
true.
I need to hang it up. I need to be proud of my accomplishment. That's really cool, you know.
I'm gonna go to the store and get a diploma frame probably tomorrow because I don't like these little holders. I feel like you can't really see it.
Yeah.
No one really knows
But
if I
I got it in the mail and I didn't want it to get like oh, and it put my that's
Aw,
the
cute.
one right below the highest.
come.
Oh,
Magna cum laude.
Is that not what you literally just that's all that you pointed right at it and I'm like that's literally all it says.
Come.
um,
Come. All right.
I'm so excited to show you guys.
I think, ladies, we should talk about what we're supposed to in this episode. We've
Let
Yes.
me pull up a pic before anyone says anything.
All right, what are do I know exactly what picture you're pulling up right now?
Even if she wasn't, she has to now. Spoiler alert!
Woo!
Shirtless man.
So
Been
fun.
doing that so much lately because I've been seeing that picture of Sabrina Carpenter from when she was on SNL with Pedro Pascal, and
It's like, ah, I
she's
love.
like up against it because I've also been watching a lot of her like man-child videos. I can't. Also, okay, quick side note, and then we can get to it. Do you know like how on TikTok people can comment pictures?
Yes.
Yes.
The one that I love seeing is the one from that guy that was in Avengers, and he's like this. Do you guys not know what I'm talking about? Let me pull it up.
No, you have to look that up.
The
Guy who's
silence.
in Avengers? Can you give me an Avenger or an actor?
You know that one guy from that one movie that does the strolls?
Um, he Anthony Mackie.
I
He
still don't think
played.
I know what you're referencing, but I
That
know the guy.
Yeah, say I know who that is, but I don't think I've seen that photo. I've seen the photo of him being like this,
Ta-da!
and I'm pretty sure it was to Sebastian Stan, but I might be wrong.
It's
My
the
Marvel
Scout.
knowledge.
Besties.
Yeah, we know who that
I
is.
know
I
the
don't know what
man. We're
pose
talking
you're
about the
talking about.
photo.
Oh, okay. Wait, let me pull up my TikTok.
He's the
With
main Captain
that, I'll
America.
explain what we're doing. So, we're going to do a little weekend recap. We recently had a girls' weekend, so all of us don't live with each other or near each other. I guess you two live kind of near each other, but
An
we're
hour.
all far apart. So we try and make intentional time for all of us to have a girls' weekend. So we just recently had one, and we thought we would do a little recap. Okay, I like that. I haven't seen that, but I
I haven't
like.
seen that, but I like it.
So yeah, let's dish on Friday night. Let's start there.
Friday night was
Well,
not terribly exciting.
Friday night, y'all stayed in, and I went out to the bar to ride a bowl.
I guess Cheyenne's Friday night
A
was
live bull.
You can do that. I saw a TikTok today where this girl like just randomly signed a waiver and they put her on like a beginner bowl. And I was
Well,
like,
I mean,
I would. I'd do
the
it.
waiver was probably like, you could die.
Yeah,
But
pretty much.
have fun.
we could die doing lots of things, but
I was gonna say it's the
anyway.
same waivers for skydiving.
I went out to the bar and did some dancing, met these really fun men that were in the Navy, watched my sister try to flirt, which was just hard to watch. Love her, but sometimes the things she says in conversation, I'm like, oh, quiet coyote in the room. Don't say that. But yeah, it was fun. We closed the place.
Iconic. Apparently, this is so off topic. Apparently, the kids don't know that this is Silent Coyote.
What?
Quiet coyote. I don't know who Silent Coyote is.
I've heard both.
Yes, it's quite literally the same thing.
It's literally the same, Cheyenne. Come on.
Get it in your noggin.
Happy llama, sad llama.
Really?
Super llama, drama llama, big fat mama llama. Big
Um,
llama, crazy llama. Don't forget Baraka llama.
I don't think I know that one.
Fish. More fish. Turtle, hut, unicorn,
Oh,
rainbow.
ours was moose, cat, fish, bear. Oh.
Yes.
What a stupid childhood thing.
It's weird that it's different state to state. Um, but anyway,
Isn't the down by the banks of the hanky pankies where the bullfrogs jump from bank to bank? Don't you guys have a different one?
yes.
But I know that one.
What
But
is
yeah,
yours?
we have
Now I know that one.
what is
What
ours?
is yours?
Now I only have Happy Llama Sound stuck in my head on repeat.
On the banks of the hanky
Um,
pankies.
quack diddly-o, so
So
quack,
so
quack,
quack quack
quack.
quack sing
Sam,
sang
Rico,
Rico
Rico, Rico,
Rico Rico
Rico,
Rico
Flora, Flora,
Flora
Flora, Flora,
Flora Flora
Flora.
Flora
1, 2, 3,
1 2 3
4,
4.
out.
Interesting.
So yeah, ours is better.
So back to what we were saying. Friday
Yeah.
night, we y'all had a cute little night in by the fire, correct?
It
Yes.
was so nice. I had spent honestly the entire day like cleaning, making sure everything was like set up for you guys. With how my house is set up, I don't have a guest bedroom, so I try and go above and beyond with how the bed feels because it's just an air mattress. I'm like, I feel bad that you guys are sleeping on an air mattress, so I'm like, let me try and make this as like happy and comfy as I can while you're staying in my home. So I was prepping that. I was a little bit ridiculous with this weekend. I got a little overexcited and I printed out menus.
I was gonna say I think you need to show off your menus because they were so
Did
cute.
you
I
save
have
them?
them right here. So while I was at work, I printed these out and laminated little menus for
The
Friday
laminate
night.
crazy.
It's like that episode of Friends where Ross has the laminated list of the girls he has a free pass to. Um
I
yeah,
love that. Our
what?
What?
that's a good topic. Talk about our free passes.
She goes,
I'm gonna write
next
that.
episode, we'll do that.
Wait, I'm
Uh,
gonna write.
she goes, let me put it in my notes app really quick.
I have a notes app of topics.
Oh, beautiful.
But yeah, so Friday was mostly like prep mode, and then I did the menus so that they could have kind of the meals that they wanted. Because sometimes like giving like, well, we're only having this, it's great. But I was like, I want to go extra and I'm gonna have it. You can customize your shit. So added stress for me because then I was like, I need this. Wait, let me cook like all that kind of stuff. So, but it was really fun. And then it was really nice to be able to just sit. My boyfriend did the fire, and Macy and I, we got down and dirty.
We yapped. We hadn't
And
yapped in
then
a
we talked afterwards.
yeah, by the fire. Her boyfriend watched.
I lie.
He listened.
He listened.
Oh,
But no, it was really nice. It was good to just sit and chat. And I know for Macy and I, it felt kind of like we were back in high school because we used to do that at her house of her dad would set the fire up for us and we would just go chill out there and chat.
Yes, I
Into
kind
the
of
night,
agree.
like I think both Macy and I had that expectation of we were just gonna be up for maybe like till like 10 or 11, to be honest, like not that late. And we were out there till like 12:30 or
Yeah,
something.
we like kept yapping. We could not stop. But it's because I can't remember the last time before that we had talked one on one. Like it's been a long time. Normally we talk the three of us.
Well, especially in like an in-person setting.
Yes. And
Because
we
we
had a
do
lot to
talk
dish
on
out
the
about
phone.
Cheyenne because she's been getting on both of our nerves. We hate her so much.
Yeah, I was so
So
glad she left, actually. It was the most
what?
like,
Join
invigorating,
the club.
freeing
Apparently,
feeling.
that's a popular topic lately. So
what is?
people, we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
That's a non-record convo.
She goes, I'm gonna stir the pot really quick, but like leave it.
Interesting.
But no, it's
Um,
really good.
and
We
then
miss Diane, but
I had fun.
we all
I did have to
collectively had
wait
fun.
to get into that bar.
Because of the bowl.
I think so. But I had to like fill out all this contact info. He like searched me like with the little metal detector thing. I had to like do the whole thing.
You got patted down.
Well, I mean, it was in a bad part of town. It was connected to a fucking Goodwill. Like the Goodwill was attached.
Goodwills are fine.
No, it's not. That's not.
Sketchiest place ever,
That's
a place where
not.
you can donate clothes to
See what a good
children.
It was like right off the freeway, and then we were talking to the guys that like frequent there, and he goes, "Yeah, there's like right at the back, like down by the water, there's just a bunch of like crackheads that live down there." And I was like, "Oh,
is Tacoma.
I'm gonna go, I think." Also, I didn't know that like that's not a law, but in Oregon, in order to serve alcohol, you have to serve food. It's like illegal to serve alcohol without serving food, but apparently in Washington that's not a thing. Like bars are standalone bars. Like they don't have to serve food.
I have something to point out to you. When we were in Pullman, when did you have to order food to get a drink?
No, it's not that you have to order food, but food has to be served at the same establishment in order for them to serve alcohol.
Oh, okay. You phrased that really weird the first time.
Oh. No, you don't have to order.
Like every time you get an alcoholic drink, you have to eat food.
Oh
It's
no, but
phrased that.
the place where you get like the bar itself has to have a menu of food or else they can't serve alcohol in Oregon. But apparently that's not a thing in Washington.
Interesting.
Where you
I
know.
did not know that.
I did not know that either.
Okay, so moving on to Saturday
It was on
morning,
birthday.
we had a very nice walkie poo.
We went on
That
our
was
hot girl walk.
While Nicole and Raylene were eating hungover McDonald's in a sketchy parking lot.
It's so funny.
no, it was fun. There's a lot of walking trails by where I live, and there was one that I was like, hey, we should like go do this one. It's kind of nearby. And it was just super nice. It was flat, which is good because it was really hot for being just like
Was
9.
hot. We met a cat.
We
We did meet
did
a
meet a
cat.
cat.
I'm sorry, guys. I cannot hold still for some reason.
No, I don't want a repeat of you being antsy
Let's see.
So I
when you
keep touching
were
my
in the
ear.
Oh
hospital.
yeah. Give me some Ativan, please.
But no, it was super nice. We all chatted, and it was interesting because as we were walking, we saw these like people with like numbers, and we were like, "Are we like intruding on something? Like, what's going on?" And it was this really cool like marathon in which people go from the bottom of Mount Rainier all the way to the waterfront in Tacoma, which is a lot of miles.
It's like 52 miles, I think is what we looked up.
Something like that. And we were at one of their, I guess, like pit stops because you can either do, we looked it up and it was like you could do teams of like 1 to 6.
They wouldn't allow singles, so you had to do at least two.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Because if
Okay.
they allowed singles, and it'd be classified as like an Ironman type,
Yeah.
and
Got
that's like a
it.
whole different event.
Or than a traditional marathon.
Okay. So I'm stupid. It's fine.
Yeah, you are.
Um, yeah. But it was really cool. This was one of the like pit stop locations. So when we finally like walked back, because we only went for an hour, we saw people like their cars were all decorated, people were dressing up. Bella
It's
came to say
Bella's show now.
hello. She goes, I am the fourth member, actually.
That's fine.
She's like sitting on my computer. Excuse me.
Yeah, you're muffled.
Bella,
She goes, you can't speak,
you're
actually.
done.
You're done. Over.
Oh, Bella.
She's so cute. She
Her
went.
debut.
Hello.
Hello. Oh no.
Oh,
And then we all collectively were like, so we have a tight schedule, but Dutch. And so we got Dutch, which was really nice. We were just jamming out to some music. I am still chasing the high of when we went to the Mariners game and we were stuck in traffic for like an hour, like
you're
Those
stuck.
are
singing to people?
toxic. And no one ever matches the energy. Like,
No, it was
if I'm in the
lame.
car with someone else, I'm like, let me like bump some really popular songs. Like I feel like everybody knows a little Pitbull. Everybody knows a little JB. Everybody knows a little Taylor Swift. So, like, let me bump some of that. And they're like respectfully singing in the no, scream.
Especially
You
if it's
can
Pitbull
scream my
and it's
name.
into that. We have to go to a Pitbull concert.
No,
I'm
that is a
telling
me.
you, it's in Vegas. We could go for like $200 a ticket in Vegas, but then we have to buy a hotel, which is where it gets expensive.
Maybe
He's
some
gotta tour
hotel
at
room
some point.
service. My coworker went and saw him recently because he was traveling, and I was like, you
Right. He
bitch.
has
He'll
to
come
tour at some
back.
point.
Yeah, he's international right now, and then I think he's coming back to the US just for Vegas.
Because he's
I
Mr. Worldwide.
personally need to buy a bald cap.
Go dress as Pitbull.
I'm gonna go as Mr. Clean instead.
No, he's fine.
Yeah.
I'm
How
like,
long
I
have
don't
we
like
been
bald men,
yapping for?
but
And
like,
we haven't even made it to the main part of our weekend.
Okay, so then after Dutch and listening to music, we went to Target.
no.
We
Talked
went to the
about
bookstore.
we went to the
Bro,
bookstore.
hella skipped over.
Well, we had breakfast, but that's not exciting.
Well,
Dan
no,
got
I
ready.
just meant
And then we
we,
went to the bookstore.
Try to speed through. Gotta make it to
And
the main event.
I know, she's
and
like, Jesus, let's get this whole weekend recap. Let's just like get her done with. You could
I
talk about
had
how cool the bookstore was.
It was
okay,
very cool because there was
got
beautiful,
these
beautiful posters of the favorite books, Akatar, Throne of Glass, and Fourth Wing. Absolutely stunning.
absolutely gorgeous. And I have a thing this year where I'm really trying not to buy any books. But I set like a realistic goal instead of just being 0 books. I said I could buy 5 books at least.
Which she
So
set on her hot girl walk. Beautiful. Look at that. Lovely.
that's so pretty.
Super cool.
And I bought one of them, so that made my second book for the year that I've bought. So I still have 3 more that I can buy. Because, like we were saying, we have a very, I have a very big TBR. Not as big as Lily. I don't have as many books as Lily, but I'm trying to take this year to read only things I have in my physical TBR. So even if I have a TBR list on like my Kindle and I like don't have the physical copy of it, I can't read it. And they have been pressuring me to read ACOTAR, and I'm like, well, I can't read it, I don't have the physical copy of it, therefore it's not in rotation to be read this year, and Lily gifted it to me. So I
The
can't buy
first,
books, but I can accept books as gifts. So now it is officially in the rotation.
which
Thank
means
God.
up next, read it, please. I've spoiled so fucking much of it for you at this point that you
That's
just
true.
need to read it.
I'm very slowly reading the book I'm currently in because I love it so much and I don't want it to end. So I'm like, I'm gonna read it very, very slowly.
That's funny. When I read a book, I fly through it. Like when I love it, I'm like, I can't stop. Sorry.
I'm so stressed I
No,
can't.
that's me trying to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Lily, shut up.
Come
I
on.
know. Like, can she calm down?
Damn.
Girl,
It doesn't have to be about her all the time. She's really annoying.
Obviously.
truth, girl. What's up?
I have a goal to read 40 books this year, and my June has been slow running. So I'm trying to read some Frida McFadden books because her books are just so easy to read. They're like 300 pages, like almost kind of like YA content where it's just easy to get through. And like the chapters are short and they're always a cliffhanger. So,
Ooh.
like, let me
What have I read this year? Let me see.
get
14.
some books.
I don't know how many I've read. I think my goal is 25. I don't think I'm anywhere close, and I know
Full
I haven't read it.
is also 40, and I've read 14. However, I feel like once I'm done with the NCLEX and I start working, and when the weather turns to absolute dog shit, I'm gonna have nothing to do because I feel like I've been spending my days outside, like I'd go to Pilates and I'd go like play pickleball or go for a run, or Dirk and I've been swimming and doing all that. So I feel like once the weather turns to absolute dog shit, reading will be my only option.
Yeah, I'm at 23 books this year so far.
I'm behind, I think, is what my thing says. Well,
I'm
yeah,
at like 10.
I am 5 books ahead of schedule.
I'm 4 books behind schedule.
But I'm like,
Go ahead.
I,
I've read 8.
Good job, Mace.
I
Uh,
just haven't been in a reading. I've had so many other
Hey,
things to do.
that is 7 more books than the average American reads. Well, 8 more books than the average American reads. Doesn't like an average American read 0 books a year?
I have no clue.
I don't know.
I don't know. My next step to read, I'm deciding between Spark of the Everflame and A Curse So Dark and Lonely.
Spark of the Ever
I know.
Flame.
That's probably what it's
Spark.
gonna be. It's so pretty, so I just want to read it.
Shadow Daddy.
And no,
This is
my
saying
favorite.
12, but I know that's false.
12?
Not an average person, average American. Let me specify.
Oh, I was like, what are, okay.
Um, yeah, no, I think they're lying. It's one.
It's Spider's George.
She goes, I'm gonna go with the number that I personally like better. So let's get to the meat and potatoes, what I ate for dinner.
Yep. So basically, we came home, had breakfast, went to the
Oh, we were
bookstore, went to Target, came back home for like 20
nipples really
seconds,
loudly.
and we went to the main event, which was in fact.
I did not hear what Cheyenne said, but I heard the nipples, and I'm very curious.
Yeah, we talked about nipples really loudly outside of Target
That's
next to the fridge.
right, we did.
That is very true.
Then,
Two boys walking, and I don't remember why Cheyenne was talking about her nipples, but she was.
because of the shirt I was wearing, and I said I didn't want my nipples out in public.
Oh, that's
After we
true.
saw that girl walk in with like the world's teeniest little-
Skimpiest.
Yeah.
did y'all watch last season of The Bachelor?
No.
No.
Darn, I was about to make a reference.
Isn't that so sad trying to reference something and no one knows what you're talking about? So then you seem like the crazy one.
Yep.
Yeah. And then we did in fact go to the main event
We went to a casino, which I was depressed.
to a dance recital
We went to a
A
dance
little
recital
dance
at the casino.
recital.
slash talent show. It was very informative. Lots of career options.
There was these very Australian, very
Buff.
fit
Professional.
men who did this wonderful dance recital where they would play some bumpin' music in which they danced and may or may not have taken their clothes off and gone into the audience to
Damn.
do
Show
some things to some women.
yeah. All
Yeah.
consent.
Yes.
Yes.
This is so
Theoretically.
interesting.
But
You
oh
bought a
my,
ticket, so you consented. You
they
guys
were
didn't.
also very respectful when they went up to ladies, being like, "Is this okay?" Or like it was completely fine. But that was, I don't think anything could have mentally prepared me for what I was about to experience. Because you go into it and you're like, yes, male strippers, like whatever, it's fun. No, nothing prepares you for what you're about to witness and how hot and uncomfortable you're going to be.
Like I was fine with them when they had their shirts off and their pants on, but the second they took their pants off and I could see their junk a little bit, and oh my God, no, when they were like sitting there and they like grabbing their junk and they pulled down their pants and they were just holding it, I was like, y'all are one finger twitch away
Yeah, that was incredible.
flashing me the goods, and I don't want to see it. I
No.
don't want to see it. I don't want to see your butt cheeks either. I was like, keep your pants on. Just take your shirt off. That's all I care. Keep your britches on. I don't care. And like when he went to afterwards, we went to get a picture with them and we went to pay them and he goes, "You guys want a tip?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course I want a tip." And he goes, "Well, it goes in there." And he was talking about his waistband. I couldn't do it. I made Macy do it.
Yeah, I had to do it because you wouldn't. And then I had my sharp nails on, so I was trying to do it without stabbing him, and I
Yeah,
totally just
we're
like
not
stabbed
scratching
him.
him.
I was like, sorry. It was a tight waistband. His
I feel like we could talk about it for hours, but there's no words to describe what happened. And if anyone is on the fence about buying a ticket or you don't know if you'd have a good time, buy the ticket. You'll have a good time. I feel like even the most uncomfortable people, like the most introverted people, have a good time at something like that. Like the energy is just great. Like there's little Asian grandmothers there, and they're typically very restrictive. Um, and one of them got a little special treatment by our
yeah, he
host.
did. I would make the argument that even if you are incredibly introverted, like you probably actually wouldn't like that because that was incredibly overwhelming. Um,
Was.
the
I
first guy was too much.
Yes,
That was a terrible way to start it.
not have opened with him. He made me very
He was a lot of man and was very aggressively sexual. And like obviously it's a strip show, but it was just like too much man to start that much with.
see, this is where I disagree because that is so
his
fun.
little
The
handbag.
worst photo.
Her
Well,
little hand, his little handbag, his armpit hair.
Little purse. Luckily, I have purse.
purse, it's me. I'm the
Purse.
purse.
No, I disagree though, because I feel like so all of them came out together, like introducing them. They gave us like a show, they took their shirts off, pants. All of us were like, oh my God. The guys that stressed me out were the ones who weren't holding their junk, but they were just slowly pulling down their underwear. And I'm like, no, no, how do you know you're not gonna slip? Like, hold that, like, get it out of there. Um, and then they shocked the entire audience by turning around and showing us their booty cheeks. I did not think I was ever going to see six men's booty cheeks.
I
Why
saw
are
all
men's butts
7 pages
fun
of.
looking?
I men's butts and junk. I'm gonna say pants are just the way to go with men. Like if I can't see it physically, but I see the silhouette, like gray set pants, but there's an outline, big fan. Love it. If I'm seeing
Agreed.
a man in baseball pants, I can see his whole ass through those pants, but I can't actually see his ass. Beautiful. Love it. As soon as the pants come down and I see butt, I'm like, and let's be honest, penises are not an attractive looking.
Oh,
Like they're
what?
funny. Like I
What
love
is
the penis straws we had in Karma. Like it's funny, but they're not attractive looking.
No. I
neither are vaginas though?
no.
What?
I said
Vaginas are
neither are
not attractive.
vaginas. I
No.
arguably they're worse.
Boobs, I feel like are like pleasant.
Yeah, I feel like boobs are attractive to look at, just like how a man's chest is attractive to look at.
Right.
I think why are man butts just so small and firm?
Yes, fur is the weird. They're like two hot buns. Like when you see buns like at the store, that is a man's booty cheeks.
No, okay, but can we talk about the lady who was fingernails deep in that dude's ass? Okay, so this
Her pinky finger was 100% in his asshole. I'm like,
She was digging for gold.
she is like
yes,
knuckle deep.
because this dude had a jock strap on and came and danced on her, like for some context. He was dancing on her and it was behind us. So all three of us like turned around to watch the dude to see this lady, I mean, white knuckle gripping. She had nails, she had long nails like me, fully like in his ass cheeks, in his ass crack. And we all immediately flipped back around and went, we don't need to see that.
I was like, this is too much.
Do I remember the one guy that was like kitty corner aisle to us dancing on the ground? Lily and I were like, and he did it back. He goes,
No, because there was this portion where the guys like had the girls get up and they were sitting, and this girl was like going off. Homegirl could have been one of the performers, and the guy sitting there was like, okay.
the girl in front of us was wearing a birthday sash, so she got lots of attention.
Yes.
I'm like, should we have? But I'm also glad we didn't because
So Lily got a dance and I got a dance. Just
You?
a second.
no,
It was, yeah.
I got the best part of it. I just gotta like touch him. Let them touching me.
I
It was
got
crazy.
aggressively humped.
no, hold on. You guys were like zooming through this. I was trying to say about that first guy though, is so they showed us that intenseness of like their booty cheeks, right? And so we're already like, whoa, what did we just witness? Like, so our adrenaline's already going. I think they needed to shock us, which is why they brought out the most buff, manly, intense guy they
Babe.
I mean,
I
he
think they needed to like really get us in and hooked and just like absolutely in shock. Because if we started with one of the guys who was just kind of like, hey, what's going on, woot woot, I think our energy levels wouldn't have been so high.
That's fair. I just at that point had such a large adrenaline boost that I got nauseous. And like there was a good second there where I was like, I'm so nauseous, I'm debating getting up and walking out because like I'm uncomfortable nauseous. And then
Like
it
he's
calmed down and I was better.
he was just too much man for me, I think. Like he
I
scared me.
agree.
It
I
was
think that's just like it was very much like he was not my type.
And the fact that like the whole caveman thing was not a good mix for him. I think if he was like the military guy, I would have eaten that shit up. But I think it's just because he took like the caveman thing that I was like, oh.
Yeah. And his name was Jimmy.
Yeah, that cannot be his real name. There's
Probably
no
not. It's also my grandpa's name, which I think just made me kind of like,
don't worry, girl, it's my dad's name,
that's
so
right, it is your dad's name.
You know, if you held a gun to my head and tell me Lily's dad's name right now or I'll shoot you, I'd be fucking dead.
you didn't know that. Well, his
No.
name is James, but he goes by Jimmy. Or I don't know what he goes by now. It's been years,
That is also my grandpa is a James that goes by Jimmy.
I
Which
just
is
love the name James. Ugh.
yeah, I was like, it's so funny to go from James to Jimmy because James is a beautiful name. And Jimmy, like, don't get me wrong, love my grandpa. The name Jimmy absolutely suits him. It's just I feel like James is
Jimmy.
so yeah.
Jimmy.
Whereas James is so old English. I love old English names.
I want it
Fine.
to be Jameson so that it gets shortened to James.
Yeah.
Okay. Just name him James.
Okay.
Okay.
Just name him James. Don't bite me.
No, but it was, I don't think any of us were breathing. All of us were crying at multiple portions of the show because it is just so shocking.
Yeah.
So intense at all times, always. And you're so happy, you're scared, you're Macy got a little lap dance for her, and Cheyenne got to rub her hand on the man, which was fun.
You have something to add.
I was very surprised because at the very end they played Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy. They were all wearing them cowboy hats. It was amazing. The energy was through the roof. And to my right, I have Cheyenne, and she's wearing a shirt that says Cowboy Pillows, Great, it fits the theme. To my left, I have Cheyenne's sister, who's wearing a shirt that says Save a Horse, or I think is what it said. So both of them very on theme. I'm thinking the guy who stops in our row is going for Cheyenne. The second he kind of passes Cheyenne, I'm like, ah, Nicole.
Uh,
No. He pauses on me, the bitch in the middle, the most
he put his hat on you, didn't he?
being he could have gone to, snaps that hat right onto my head. I can't see shit, and I'm too busy trying to like look.
She
Like,
goes,
what? Did I want to get intimate or something? Why did I need to see? Because he, I think, intentionally put the hat so I couldn't. And he fully just grabbed that hand, was like, get on my abs, sort of thing, and just went full, like, the best I can describe it is just
Yeah,
at
no, they just like the core strength honestly is crazy, and like the hip flexor strength, because they are just, I mean, that's an aggressive hump. It's
Mhm.
aggressive. It's not comfortable. Mine was slightly painful.
I
Like,
was like, ugh.
yeah,
It was so
Like, are
tense.
their partners okay?
right?
Male or female, are they okay?
Oh, I don't know, but
Um,
that I was so intense.
I was kind of surprised on how shy Nicole was.
Yeah.
She seemed very.
Sorry, Bella. Yeah. She goes,
That's terrifying.
Oh, Bella.
but
Literally just like being like the. Anyway, I feel like Nicole can be very rowdy, and so she was just so like shy during that whole experience. I was definitely expecting her. I mean, she got into it more as the time went on, but I think it was all just a bit more than we were expecting.
like,
I think I did expect it to be a little more burlesque than strippy.
oh,
I was not disappointed though.
Yeah. Would I do it again? Oh yeah.
Yeah, for 50 bucks, I would go a million times.
no, I was like, that was cheap.
I'll
But
be
no,
the money is the picture thing. That is where the money's at. Let's talk about that. So,
they gave an option for us to take photos with the men, and obviously we were like, hell yeah,
no
take our
matter the
money.
price, no matter the fucking price. So we go up there and we give the guy the money. And like we said, he asked if we wanted to tip. And I said, well, of course. And he goes, well, the tip goes in there. And like looks down at his waistband. He has cash sticking out of it. I was afraid to touch him. So I made Macy do it. And then they come over. One of them comes over and grabs us one by one. And he like holds out his arm like all very gentleman-like, and he goes, what's your name? And then you tell them your name. From my experience, I go, oh, my name is Cheyenne. And he goes, oh, that's a beautiful name. I was like, thanks. And I go over there and they're like, okay, everyone, okay, guys, this is Cheyenne. I go, hi. And they're all just looking at me and they go, how are you? And I go, I'm okay. And they're like, just okay. And I was like, I'm nervous. And they're like, why are you nervous? And I was like, well, you're hot, of course. So that's why I'm nervous. And he goes, well, you want to come have a seat? I go and sit on his lap. And we're sitting there, and I thought they were looking at my shirt, but they were looking at my Lammy. They're looking at this little guy, and they wanted to know what he was like, and they were just very interested in him. I was like, okay. And they're like, I like your tattoo, and I wanted to say I would get you tattooed, but I got scared. So, and then we were taking the picture, and I was really wanted to say like, suck it in, like everyone thinks skinny thoughts, and then I was like, I was so fucked up, like I was so shy, I could not say. I know they probably would have laughed given that they're literally chiseled by God himself. But anyway, I get up and I go, you guys smell really good. And they winked at me.
They all wear the same deodorant. They all smell the exact same.
Oh, they
And I'm
were.
like,
And then we took a big group photo.
Mhm.
My guy, the guy that I was sitting on, he goes, do you want to put your arm around me? And I go, sure. And I like put it on the chair. I was so scared to touch him. And then in the photo, like, you can't see Macy and I touching the men, and Lily's just like,
we're besties at this
Well,
point.
during
around.
that photo, because we did the group photo before I did my individual,
Yeah,
and
they
then
were
I go,
very efficient with it.
they had done this before. I went and put my arm around and I put it on the chair, but I was like, I had my hand up and it was just in the air and I was vibrating because I was so nervous and adrenaline boosted. And the dude in the middle goes, "Are you okay? Like you're shaking." I was like, "Oh
The
yeah,
front
I'm
middle or the
fine."
back middle?
And he puts my hand then on his shoulder. So then I had my hand on his shoulder and I was like, oh my God, I'm touching him. And I didn't speak. Cheyenne, you were like, I was nervous. So I like stopped saying things. I didn't speak like at all. I just completely shut down because then when I took my individual photo, he's like, "Are you sure you're okay?" I was like, "I'm fine. I just do this. Like, I just shake. It's who I am. I'm never going to be a
Oh.
surgeon." But all I said was, "Oh yeah, I'm fine. I just do this," and like clammed up. And then the dude I was like sitting on was like, "It's okay. I get nervous too." And I was like, "There's no way you get nervous. You do this all the time." And he goes, "No, every show I get nervous." I was like, "Fat fucking lie." And then I had fucking massive ass Jimmy pull me over and be like, "Let's take a selfie." And I was like, "No, please let me go. I don't want to be here." And you can see it in my face in
To
that
a
photo.
handbag.
What?
I said, and then you
Little baby.
Yeah, it was awful. It was so fun, but it was awful. I hated
did
that ending part.
such a guy. And then we went to dinner and talked very loudly at a very public place about that and definitely needed to be executed.
Cheyenne goes,
Executed? Escorted. I said
what?
that we needed to be executed, but I meant escorted.
We need to be executed.
Murdered. No, girl, you
Dead, gone.
completely skipped over my one-on-one.
Yeah, tell
No.
us about your one-on-one.
She goes, so me and Macy had the best time ever and we went to dinner.
Lily
What
wasn't
happened,
involved.
what happened with your one-on-one?
I was definitely the most extroverted when it came to these men, and I
It's
think that
fine.
was my like
Surprising thing.
what?
Actually that's not true. I feel like Macy's the most likely to be introverted. I feel
Really?
like yeah.
We'll dive into that in a second. That
Yeah.
seems like a debate topic there. Um, no, so I walk over to the guy and they're like, the guy was like, all right, he's Lily. And so they were all like, hi, Lily.
What part of Australia you're from?
And so
That was giving the shark from Nemo.
Bruce?
Relay. Ooh, sorry. Continue your story.
I was like, hi. And so the guy in the middle was talking to me. He goes, you want to take a seat here? And I go, what did you say? He goes, you want to sit right here? And I go, oh, okay, sure. So I sit on his lap and I was like, this is weird. And so the host goes, okay, guys, this is weird. We're being weird. Let's be weirdos together. I was like, so I was like, okay, let's be a little funny about it. So my photo, I have my leg crossed. I'm like, and then I took some normal ones. I thought the guy was only taking two photos. He was like
Fun.
clicking, like he was a pro.
He was a pro. Oh, and the joke of the night was that the guy taking photos was also the sound tech, and of all of the guys, he was the most of my type.
Yeah,
Really.
uh, I feel
And
like the one
then
I sat with or sat on was my type.
I agree.
I don't
And
really
then
have
Big Jim came and picked me up. Well, he didn't actually pick me up, but he was like, "Hey, come take a selfie." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And I was like, "Wow, you're really tall." And then what did he say? He was like, "Yeah, it can be
fortunate.
quite unfortunate sometimes." And I was like,
Oh, poor Jimmy.
Poor
In my
Jim.
photo, I don't know how I'm shorter than Macy, and I don't know how I look more like with
I think
it.
she was like squished into his body. Like she was an extension of his body.
And he took it at a terrible angle.
But yeah, and then they were like, sit on our lap. And I was like, sounds good. And just the way I was positioned, I was like, yeah, my chance to touch a man.
Do you think they would have let you straddle them?
Oh my God, if I asked, probably.
Imagine how fun the picture would have been if you were straddling the middle guy and you like looked over.
Yeah, there was a girl that did that. It was like one of the first girls to take a photo on stage did that.
No.
No, that
I
was the if you have an ex-boyfriend, the fuck you position, where all of them go like this.
Oh
I
And you're
yeah.
straddling one.
I would have liked that. I don't have it. I should have just sent it to Derek just for fun.
I loved the raise your hand if you have a shitty ex-boyfriend, and you both grabbed my hand and made me raise it. I was like, thanks, guys.
I was like, I don't know what they're gonna do. Pick her.
I was scared. I was like, I don't know if I want to be picked.
I know
No,
I
there was
was
times where I
while we
was
were
like,
here.
We are really good at talking over each other today.
It's okay. We're all just excited. I was like so ready to go up on stage when they were asking for volunteers. I was like, me. I think I would have killed myself if I was picked.
no, exactly. I was like, oh my God, are they gonna pick me? Are they gonna pick me? The second they got near me, I was like,
And no, and after learning what they had to do, these women, they picked three women. They had to go on stage and they had to moan for 10 seconds.
Specifically,
Not just
orgasm.
they had to fake an
that,
orgasm.
and not just like, oh yeah, like that's good. Like these women were like, pull my hair, fuck me, daddy, like the craziest shit. And they asked the host to like pull her. She's like, can you pull my hair? Can you slap my ass?
No. He was
Crazy.
like, what the fuck?
He goes, y'all women are nasty. I'm like, you're nasty. That little cunty little tongue thing he did. He kept going.
That was fun.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's cunty. I love it.
What I will say is I think my favorite part of the show was the collective anticipation for the host to do something, and then Tony by Genuine started playing, and then he revealed himself, and the whole crowd, I don't think any of us were as excited as that moment.
I think that
It
was the moment that everyone got up off their seats. Like everyone fucking stood up for that.
It was
It
amazing.
was brilliant.
Buried in the pictures. Like, why does he look like he has a gun to his head in the pictures? He's like,
He looked so small too. Like on stage, he looked normal, and then the fuck,
Yeah.
he looked so small.
no,
I
I
was
gotta
like,
show
oh.
y'all this photo. He looks like he has like a gun to his head.
Maybe he did. He was in the back. Um, I love him though. He was awesome.
That
Great.
was great.
I liked his back tattoo.
Yeah, it was cool.
Y'all, it took up like his whole back and like he had special artwork around his spine. Loved it.
Hmm.
No, it was an awesome
Okay.
experience. A 10 out of
Oh,
10.
for reference, here's my fave. Here was Macy's. And Lily, did you have a favorite? This is the one you sat on.
Any man in front of me.
Fair enough. There's Jimmy.
Big Jim.
Reference, here's Jimmy next to the other guy.
He kind of makes them look inferior.
No, but
Yeah,
then the guy on the other side was big too.
they
He
were
was
all.
cute. I like him. Sure, I'll make him my favorite just for variety's sake.
I like the guy that asked for a tip.
He was funny.
Oh, I did too.
My favorite.
So yeah, I
Look
10 out of
look
10
how
recommend, but
respectful
it's
his
really
hands
intense.
are on my thigh. And I'm like, my hands, I'm like, I'm afraid to touch
You're
him.
so respectful.
That is so funny.
Okay, ew. His fingernail is bleeding. How did I not notice that?
Gross.
He's probably a nervous nail biter. Oh my God, we're meant to be.
He's sitting. That's so funny. Sitting backstage, getting ready to strip, biting your nails.
He's probably nervous. Give me a break. I'd be nervous.
What is it dichotomy? Is that what I want to say? What a dichotomy?
I
I
don't
don't know if
know.
that's the right word.
Lobotomy?
No.
uh,
Yeah, a division or contrast between two things that are represented as being opposed or entirely different. It's a dichotomy to me of like, oh yeah, I'm a stripper, I go on stage and strip for all these peoples, but I'm sitting backstage biting my fingernails.
that's a big word for Elmo.
Yeah.
Probably got it from my
Like,
fucking boyfriend. He uses a lot of big words.
so what happened after that? We went to dinner, like I said. We spoke very loudly and very inappropriately in a public place.
We were
Um,
crying laughing though. It was a fun time.
We were
yeah,
those
over Macy's
bitches
and
that you hate.
Then we went back to Lily's and we just kind of like decompressed for a little bit. We watched the new season of Phineas and Ferb. Macy put tinsel in my hair, which is still there. You just can't see it
I was
because
gonna
of my.
ask if it's still there.
Yes, all of them are still there.
Beautiful.
Um, and then we went and sat by the campfire for a while. And we just kind of
Went to bed.
chatted. It was quite nice. And then we went to bed. And
Yeah, that's
then I feel
really
like Sunday we all just like got up and rushed out of there. I don't know why I felt
All of
bad.
us. I left my own house. I was over it.
well, we had breakfast and stuff, but I had to meet Austin's parents that day.
Hmm.
So I was a little stressy.
Yeah, how did that go?
It went really well. They're very cool people. Not like I didn't expect it. They're much more planning type people than I was expecting because Austin's not really like he can plan and he's good at it, but he's very much like prefers to go with the flow. And his parents are very much like planning people. And so I
Yeah.
was like, that's interesting, but they're very cool. I really like them. I think they liked me.
I think that they hated you.
Probably, honestly.
I slept for most of Sunday, I think.
I watched The Secret Lives on my way home and took a wrong exit by accident because I wasn't paying.
Nice.
Don't watch TV and drive, kids. Not safe.
I don't recommend it. I do it as well, though.
Yeah,
Yep,
I don't recommend. Do as I say, not as I do.
No,
exactly.
it was such a good weekend. We were all in such high spirits, so much fun. I really loved it.
Yeah, it was great.
And I came
Now,
back.
who is the most introverted?
I feel like the easy answer is Lily.
See, I was
In
like,
that scenario, it made sense to me that Macy would be the most introverted in that scenario.
oh, in that scenario, yes, I agree. I am not a promiscuous person. Not like either of you are, but like, thank you. Like, okay. Y'all need just that. I don't like that.
Anyway, we're not promiscuous, so I'm a
But
slut,
like,
is what you're fucking saying.
yeah. I have the highest body count, so
Okay, Mrs.
Or
Single
yeah.
Hand.
But like, I have no problem like telling you guys about sex, but like sex related things tend to make me uncomfortable because I grew up in a very like okay, explain
Sex
that.
things make you uncomfortable, but I get a full graphic detail of
Okay.
events that occur.
That's why I said telling you guys about stuff is fine, but like when it comes to outside people, like my mom was very we don't talk about it. And so like I just have like a weird like limit with it with different people, I guess.
That's fair.
Lily, why are you laughing?
Nothing. We'll tell you later.
um, I don't know what I am.
I feel like Lily is okay. I think that she's the easy scapegoat to be. She's the most introverted. I feel like she's a good scapegoat for that. But when we were in the hospital when I went blind and she was talking to the guy that came to take out the trash, I was like so thrown back that she spoke to him. Like I was like so surprised that out of everyone in the room, she was the least likely person to say something, and then she did. And I was like, wait.
I with me, and I very much agree with that. Like it's easy to be like, yeah, I'm the most introverted because I would argue that in elementary school, middle school, I was very extroverted. And then it was like end of middle school, all of high school into college, I kept to myself. And I didn't really take those like I didn't have those skills to. Are you good, Cheyenne?
I'm like trying not to laugh. I'm thinking of something completely unrelated and it's
Okay.
making me
I don't think I developed the right skills to be extroverted, I guess. And I really had to push myself. And so I think within the past year, I've grown out of that year, 2 years, grown out of my shell to become what I used to be extroverted wise. And I'm like, no longer feel as embarrassed by things because these are just one-off interactions that I'm like, oh, well, maybe that's a funny story for them too, kind of thing.
I feel like I'm very extroverted in like social situations. I love talking to random people. You know how like like dads have the tendency to just strike up conversation with literally any single breathing person? I feel like the older I get, the more I enjoy that. Like um like meeting people at the bar, I just think it's so much fun. Like just having casual conversation with people, I just think it's super fun. And I
That's an
feel
example of the extroversion. What the fuck possessed me to talk all night long and to strangers in a southern accent? I wasn't even any slightly kind of drunk.
no,
So
no.
it's just that slow, like I can be very extroverted.
I think it depends on other people's energy. Like if I was feeling very introverted that night, you would be as well.
I think I generally consider
Oh,
myself an awkward person as well. Therefore, I just assume all of my interactions with people are going to be awkward, and I just sometimes try and avoid them. Because there's like times where I can have like, I can be social. Like, I was great at a customer service like position because it was a kind of narrated interaction. And in
like
that situation, I was almost in control of the conversation and how it went versus like out in the wild, sometimes like at the bar. I think it's fun when you meet like seriously, when like okay.
I was literally about to do that.
But
Out
like
in the wild, in the outback.
meeting people out at the bar, you guys got me.
What? No, you know what that makes me think of? Hold on, keep talking.
Okay. Like
Speak.
the interaction can go like really well or like really awkwardly and badly, and that just like the chance of that sometimes makes me really stressed. So
okay, man, I make fire. Oh,
Cheyenne's caveman accent and her nail tech lady accent are my
you
favorites.
cannot say that.
She goes, I'm gonna call you out.
You can't say that.
I sent you the TikTok, right?
Why do you do that in such a like fan way with you're like,
I'm so used to very casually telling my dad to shut the hell up in public. Macy, did I tell you what he said at Derek's graduation?
No.
We were sitting there and they were reading names and they were reading their like hometowns and this person was from Micronesia and my dead silent. My dad goes, "I'm surprised they're still here." I slapped him and I go, "You cannot say that." And
That's
he
crazy.
goes, "Well, I'm just surprised with everything Trump." I was like, "Nope, you're done speaking.
Yikes.
No, no more words from you. Then go
Yikes.
piss, girl."
no, but that's interesting. Live, laugh, love.
Well, is
I
there any
do
other
feel
topics?
if there was anything said that should not have been said, my bad. Lily, you can
Okay.
edit, right?
What?
You can edit,
Okay,
right?
you can leave it.
No.
It's okay, just leave it.
I am
I'm just
here
not gonna
to,
do said accent.
Fair enough.
but it's iconic and hilarious and amazing. So,
Uh, yeah, that's one way to put it. Can you not hear those damn dogs?
No.
no, I'm thriving. I
I
ain't
just
crying, I
sand snoring.
thriving.
I'm gonna freak. All right, is there any closing remarks? Anything else we want to add about our weekend?
Um, if you are going to Thunder from Down Under, I recommend you bring along the the CPR thing, the
The
A-
defibrillator?
yeah,
80.
and one of those oxygen masks because you're gonna need it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with all the cigarette smoke in those freaking casinos.
No, the casino made me so
Oh,
depressed.
stinky.
I was so anxious like going into the show because well, one, I didn't eat anything and then anxious, so my tummy hurt. So then I was anxious there, but just seeing all these people just sitting by themselves with their smokes, their drinks, just
It is kind of depressing.
it's really it
No?
was really much.
Derek and I were talking about this today, or about our like if we were the Hunger Games game makers, what kind of arena we would put them in. I said I'd put
Lotus.
them, I said I'd put them in Costco, but genuinely, like a Costco on a Saturday or Trader Joe's on a Sunday. That is like literally the craziest. Anyway, but I think a casino would be a great contender.
Be
The
interesting.
Lotus.
Is that what you said?
Yes, from Percy Jackson.
Whenever they get like warped in there and they get stuck.
Or you could stick them in a Walmart.
With the lights out.
Walmarts are scary.
They're not scary. Costco is scary.
Well, Costco is scary with the amount of people, but the Walmarts that I've experienced have like the lighting of Hollister with the sketchiness of a crack house.
Why are you
Pullman
shopping in the
Walmart wasn't
dark?
that bad.
That's just where I lived. That's what these were. Oh, little snuggly girl.
Pullman Walmart was not that bad.
No, it wasn't.
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
Oh,
You
I
said
I,
every
I
Walmart
lived
I've ever
under.
been to.
yeah.
Sorry.
Almost every Walmart you've ever been
Tries to
to.
make a general statement and I get
Look at the
shot
movie.
down.
It's Little Mermaids too.
I want to cut my hair.
Do it.
I'm not going to, but okay, ladies, listening, buy the ticket. Thunder Down Under was spectacular.
Yep.
10
Wear a
pounds.
birthday sash, even if it's not your birthday,
If
Yep,
you want the attention.
or a bride to be.
That too.
that works as well. All right. Thanks for hanging out with us through our little weekend recap. This was non-problematic problems. And as always, stay hydrated, stay delusional, and stay non-problematic. See you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.